Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. Hi, I'm Aaron, and I'm here to talk to you today about voice acting in Japan and the rest of the world through a funny little video. I love funny little style of stuff. Funny little videos. So please, come with me. Hope you can't hear my chair squeaking. Haha.
ある日あんたは言った私の夢の続き見せてとこんな瀟洒な都会であざけ笑うモナリザ着られたスーツも平らに今は私恋をしてましたこんな汚れた街を好きになれやしないですが口からどんな血が私の体を巡っていて人のぬくもりさえも知ってしまう気がするんだ蘇ってしまうよあなたのためならいくらでも間違いも愛せるよバカなもんでさ生き返ってしまうよあなたがくれた命だからカッコつけて泣いてるよ愛が欲しくてさ愛が欲しくてさ
Before I start the video, this was made in like a fever dream of a week. So, lots of jump cuts, and sometimes I lose track of what I'm talking about, and then I come back to it. The topic of the video, other than what I stated previously, is why Japan and its voice actors have such high notoriety rather than the rest of the world. So, just for context later, like as in the next 10 seconds, that's what I'm talking about. I'm doing this in one take. I started to think about this difference when I was browsing the news the other day. That new live-action One Piece series, they got all the old voice actors from the original version to do the new one in the Japanese dub. And people were really excited. And I was like, why are people so excited about this when they wouldn't get excited about people from anywhere else getting a role like that? And it might be because One Piece is so iconic, but this happens all the time. So let's go back to the beginning. Voice acting as an industry has existed for about a century. Since the invention of radio, voice acting has existed throughout the world. Audio dramas were one of the first places that voice acting was like a career that one could take. A lot of stories have been adapted into audio dramas, like Gulliver's Travels,
The assistance of
James Bond, Phantom of the Opera, Waiting for Bojangles, and The Great Gatsby. And Japan did and does the same thing to this day, with stories like Metal Gear Solid, Awkward Silence, and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Voice acting, though, didn't take off until the popularization of animation in Japan after World War II, with the space battleship Yamato's release, shooting the popularity of and the necessity for voice actors in the new industry. But why the popularity? And why isn't it as big everywhere else? When you tell someone that you like voice acting in Japan, the usual response is, well, who do you like? At least that's what I've gotten. So why do Japanese companies give such outward crediting and promoting to their voice actors like movie stars? Well, one thing could be that media that voice actors are used for is so popular everywhere in the world that there is a necessity to promote it. Take Akihabara, for example, an entire neighborhood in Tokyo that is, for all intents and purposes, just a lot of advertising. Also, voice actors go through rigorous training and schooling to have even the chance at becoming a listed voiceover artist. This isn't to say that voice actors don't train or go to school for it, like, outside of Japan. But in Japan, it's a requirement, rather than most other places in the world. Much like how movie and play acting is done in America. Another thing could be that generally, Japanese culture reflects respect as one of its big values. Giving credit is a form of respect. That's why it's customary to generally wait until a movie's credits are done rolling to leave, to give credit to the actors. So for that reason, giving credits and name notoriety to voice actors could be seen as a form of respect, to put the name in people's mouths and houses. It's the discussion point of the video. By discussion, I mean this isn't scripted, and I just want to talk about voice acting in Japan and America, because that's part of the project that this is for. Let's just start it. So how can one use this to interact with Japanese culture from the outside? You can be clued into the major respect rules that are in Japanese society. It also really puts into perspective work culture and college culture in Japan, and how credentials are really big, and like paperwork is really big part of Japanese work, and how that works. And to connect this back to the original article that this like whole thing is based off of, I think that some of the notoriety that comes from Japanese voice actors is because the industry is just so much older. Maybe not older, but older and more famous worldwide. Like One Piece is huge, like everywhere, and it's been around for 30 years. So everyone knows the voice actor for Luffy. But someone might not know like the voice actor for a cartoon in America that's only been around for like 2 years or something like that. Because a lot of content in the West is also shorter form than Japanese anime and like audio dramas and whatnot. Also, voice acting is not limited to like anime and TV shows. It's in like games and things too. And a lot of games come from Japan. It's kind of the birthplace of video games as we know them. So that could also lead to the notoriety of Japanese voice actors being the top tier in the world as opposed to anyone else. Like, education is more rigorous in Japan, but how good one is just up to preference. Welcome to the hidden sleepy part of the video, the sleepy time section. I wanted to talk about one more thing before I went to bed, and it relates to specifically something about this, but something I noticed recently, and it's come out within the last year, so it fits the guidelines, right? Comes when JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 released on Netflix, and both Fyro's Eye and Kira Buckland, the voice actors for Jolene, the main character, got like a bunch of publicity and a lot of fame. And we put that in quotes because that's the only word I can think of from doing that role specifically. But the difference is that now they're both kind of equal in like fame and popularity and notoriety. That's the word. But Kira Buckland's been in the industry for like 15 years. Rose has only been in it for maybe 5. So it really does like test to the role you do and when you do it as well, not just what language you're speaking. So I thought that was interesting. Yeah, I like both their performances. They're great. They're great.